She thought she was invisible, just a simple food seller feeding a hungry boy every morning. But the day two helicopters landed beside her tiny stall, everyone realized the truth: kindness never goes unnoticed. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to USA Drama 2.0 for more emotional, life-changing stories. Along the dusty roadside of a small town stood a tiny wooden stall. It wasn't beautiful, or shiny, or impressive. It was simply a table, two benches, an old pot, and a woman whose smile could calm any storm. Her name was Amina. Every morning she woke before sunrise, braided her long hair, tied her apron, whispered a prayer of gratitude, and began cooking food, simple food, comforting food, food she hoped would bring warmth to someone's day. Her stall wasn't just a business. It was her way of sharing love. Amina never earned much, yet she never complained. She believed that generosity had its own reward, even if she couldn't see it yet. And then, the boy came. He appeared one morning wearing an oversized shirt, dusty slippers, and eyes full of stories he was too afraid to share. Amina noticed him standing near her stall, not begging, not speaking, just watching the food with a hunger he tried to hide. She smiled gently. "Come here, sweetheart," she called. The boy hesitated. Amina placed a warm plate in front of him. His face lit up, bright, grateful, almost unbelieving. "What's your name?" she asked. He swallowed shyly. "My name is Kamal." From that day on, Kamal came every morning. And every morning, Amina fed him. She never asked for money. She never asked for explanations. She just gave him food, along with kindness, words of encouragement, and the kind of warmth that feels like home. Soon the entire town began noticing. "Why do you feed him for free?" someone asked her once. Amina simply replied, "No child should ever feel forgotten." Weeks passed, and Kamal began opening up. But not fully. Amina sensed he was hiding something heavy. Yet she didn't push him. She simply made him feel safe, safe enough to smile, to laugh, to help her wash dishes, to sit beside her stall as if it were his refuge. One evening, while the sun painted the sky with warm colors, Kamal whispered, "Miss Amina, do you think good people get good things?" Amina paused. "Yes, sweetheart, even if it takes time, even if no one sees it." He stared at her with a mixture of hope and fear. "One day, I want to do something good too. Something for you." She laughed softly and tapped his shoulder. "Just grow into a kind person. That will be enough." But she didn't know how deeply Kamal took those words to heart. One morning, Kamal didn't show up. Amina waited, and waited, and waited. She felt a sting in her chest. Where was he? Was he okay? She didn't know that at that very moment, somewhere far beyond her town, events were unfolding that would soon change everything. A week passed before he returned. He looked different, cleaner, healthier, wearing new clothes. "Kamal," she exclaimed joyfully. But before she could ask anything, the boy ran to her and hugged her tightly. "I missed your food," he said with a trembling voice. Amina cupped his face gently. "I was worried. Are you all right?" Kamal nodded, but his eyes glistened with a secret he wasn't ready to reveal. The town woke up to an unfamiliar sound, low, powerful, growing louder by the second. People stepped outside, shading their eyes. Amina looked up and gasped. Two large helicopters were descending toward her stall. Dust swirled everywhere. Children screamed with excitement. Shopkeepers froze. Cars stopped. Everyone stared. Amina stood still, confused and startled, holding her cooking spoon like a shield of innocence. The helicopters landed gently, their engines humming with authority. From each one stepped people in clean, professional uniforms, men and women with badges, cameras, and suits that looked too perfect for the dusty small town. The entire community whispered, "What's happening? Who are they here for? Is this an emergency?" But nothing prepared them for what happened next. One of the helicopter doors opened, and Kamal stepped out, not the shy homeless boy anymore. His new clothes were neat, his hair was trimmed, and behind him walked two well-dressed adults, people who looked important. Amina's jaw dropped. "Kamal," she whispered, barely believing. He ran toward her and hugged her tightly. But this time, he wasn't alone. Dozens of journalists, officials, and photographers followed behind him. "Amina," Kamal said softly, tears forming. "I didn't want to hide it anymore. I'm not just a homeless boy." She blinked, stunned. The woman behind him stepped forward and introduced herself calmly. "I'm Drive, Helena Sophia, Kamal's guardian. He went missing months ago, and the entire region was searching for him. Kamal told us about you. He told us everything." Amina felt the world tilt. Everything? What everything? Then Kamal looked into her eyes. "Miss Amina, you saved me when you didn't know who I was. You fed me when you didn't expect anything. You treated me like a child who mattered." He wiped his eyes. "My guardian, she's the founder of a large humanitarian foundation. And I told her something important." "What did you tell her?" Amina asked softly. "I told her that the kindest person I ever met is a woman who sells food on the roadside." Amina covered her mouth in shock. "And today, drive," Helena continued gently. "We came to honor your kindness." Officials approached Amina and unfolded a large document. Cameras flashed, children cheered, the town watched with awe. "This, drive," Helena announced, "is a full scholarship for every child in this community who cannot afford school. In your name." Amina's legs almost gave out. And she was handed a second envelope. "This is a grant to build a small community kitchen, so your generosity can reach even more people." Tears streamed down Amina's cheeks. "But, why me?" she whispered. Kamal answered, holding her hand. "Because kindness deserves to be seen." The town erupted in applause. Even the wind seemed to pause in respect. Construction began quickly. The community kitchen rose proudly where her small wooden stall once stood. Amina became known as the mother of the town, though she always said she was just a simple food seller doing what felt right. Kamal visited her every day. But now, he came not as a lost boy. He came as family. "Amina," he said one evening as they watched children eat together joyfully. "You once told me that good people get good things." She smiled softly. "Yes, I remember. Well," he whispered, leaning his head against her arm. "You were right." Amina's eyes warmed. "No, sweetheart, you proved it." Years later, the kitchen expanded into a full community center. Children studied there, mothers cooked there, families found support there. And Amina, she never changed, still humble, still smiling, still feeding anyone who arrived hungry. Whenever someone asked her how her life changed so beautifully, she always answered the same. "I didn't do anything special. I just fed a child." But the world knew better. She fed more than a child. She fed hope. Remember, the smallest act of kindness can become the greatest turning point in someone's life. If this story touched your heart, make sure to subscribe to USA Drama 2.0 for more inspiring and emotional stories.